Behind every click, your banking app, hospital records, school portals, government systems, even your office email, there's infrastructure. And behind that infrastructure, there's business. Before any IT system goes live, it looks like this: boxes, cables, and lots of planning. This week on Marketplace, we step inside Kenya's digital backbone. We examine how structured supply chain finance helps importers and project-based firms, helping them build reliability and trust in B2B trade. Since 2012, Kenya has undergone a quiet but powerful digital transformation. Mobile penetration above 95%, government services moving online. Today, businesses simply cannot function without ICT systems. But IT infrastructure isn't just laptops and printers. It's data center design, server rooms, storage systems, backup power, security. And that's where Techlink Limited comes in.
My name is Kennedy Wanjohi. I am a director at Techlink Limited. But beyond that, I also play the part of CTO, as I'm involved in project designs, and I lead the team that does the consultation team on the ground when we go to visit our customers. Yes.
You started Techlink back in 2012. Talk to us about what problem you're trying to solve then. That's what, over 10 years ago.
Yes.
And where you are today.
In 2012, first thing is that people were not enlightened so much about IT. So first thing that we've been able, the gap that we're trying to fill first was to make sure that we're giving people the information about what IT is all about. So we have been offering training to our customers to make sure that they understand IT. Another gap is about that people do not understand in depth what is required for the system in the organization to run. In this case, I'm talking about for computers and for gadgets, or basically for computing devices to communicate. We need to have secure networks that are running behind the scene. We have to have some storage systems that are running behind the scene. We need to have power backup systems that are supporting these systems. So what we have been doing is basically, because from where I sit, ICT is made up of several systems. So most people do not know about all these systems. So what we have been doing is basically giving the people this information, designing for them these proposals for new systems that can actually make their environment better, and actually to avoid anything to do with downtime as far as their ICT infrastructure is concerned.
My name is Joseph Mbera. I'm the head of operations and logistics at Techlink Limited. So we deal with ICT products generally. So and in the store here, this is our temporary store, or rather where we hold goods, just like I've just said. And there are several items which we can look at, or rather some of the things that we deal with. They include the computing devices. Computing devices include the computers, laptops, desktops, and also the smartphones. We deal with those, like this desktop here, or these Lenovo laptops here, among others. We also sell XUK laptops, like these ones here, or a few others, and also repair. That goes for new laptops, XUK laptops, and also do repairs for those. Then there is the applications, or rather softwares. They include antiviruses and the operating systems like the Microsoft Office, the Windows 11, and so. Then there are these networking devices that includes the access points, the switches, PoE switches like these ones. They're the HP PoE 800 switches. Then there is the access points like this one here, or this one. Okay, those are some of the networking devices. Then you have got the business phones, the extensions that are normally in different offices, like this one from Funville and others. There is also these ones which have been brought for repairs. Others have active warranty. So we have got a technical team that looks at them, or we refer them back to the manufacturer. Then from there we have got the structured cabling that includes the networking. I like to say the structured cabling of like the cabling of this room. We have got the cables and the other accessories that comes with those works, like these base plates here, among others, and these other items here. Okay, so and we have got face plates. These are face plates. They are used in cable termination, among other accessories that come with the structured cabling.
So Techlink Limited was registered in 2012 as a startup company by a young team of 2 directors who had the vision and the love for technology. We started off very young with very minimum income. We ran the company for a period of about 1 year and a half during that time between 2012 and 2013, when we encountered one big challenge. That challenge that we found that happened to us happened because of lack of proper skill and market knowledge. I remember there was this one heartbreaking moment where we supplied one order to one of our customers, an insurance company, who went into receivership immediately after our delivery. That happened that we never got paid to date. That was in 2013. That is where the Techlink story starts, because what happened is that after that, we were forced to close shop for a couple of years, actually, between 2013 and 2016. So during that period, we were able to come back and rebuild afresh, come back stronger with more skills, better quality customers in our pocket. So we were able to build a better company as of 2016. The reason why we closed shop after the supply of that order is that we had, between registration and of the business and 2013, we had accumulated some capital, which was actually money that we had borrowed from our friends and family members. And we had, in that specific order, because it was quite a huge order, we put a lot of money into it. And since it was never paid, so basically all the capital we had in stock, some suppliers had not been paid. We had to figure out ways of actually managing that whole process. So we felt that some of us actually went back to employment to try and find ways to accumulate some more capital to run the business. And for a period of 3 years between 2013 and 2016, that's why we were able to actually now I think we have enough capital, we have enough skill and understand the market better. And that's why we came back in 2016. We have been running the business since 2016. We started small. Actually, our office space then was around 200 square feet. The good thing is that based on now the skills that we had acquired in the market, the quality customers that we had brought on board, we were able to actually have some cash flow coming in. However, it was not adequate, but we had some cash flow coming in. Then came in a larger demand. The demand came in because of the volume of business that we're getting. The demand came in is that we needed to hire more people. We need to get more space, a bigger space. So in 2018, we moved the business to a larger space of around 700 square feet, where we hired about an extra, because when we were starting in 2016, we only had about 3 employees. So in 2018, we brought on board an extra 2 employees. And in 2019, we continued to increase the number of employees to where it stands today at around 11 people. Now, what are some of the challenges that we faced between that period then and now, especially between 2016 and 2018, 2019. One of the biggest challenge we had is that there was a large demand for supply of our goods that we supply, but our capital was shrinking by the day.
But growth in this sector doesn't just require expertise. Behind every rack installed and every cable laid, equipment must be sourced, often imported, often paid for immediately.
So one of the things is that ICT is very expensive. Even if you look at the cost of one simple desktop or a computer, any computer, considering that our market customers are actually corporates. Our market is corporate. That means that they want to buy brand new equipment, and the cost of brand new equipment is usually a bit high. So if I take an example of a customer who wants 100 computers, for example, and the minimum cost of that computer being at 70,000 shillings, you're talking quite a huge amount for a single order to one customer. So the challenge comes in is when you have so many orders supporting different customers, you realize that the cost to purchase and to deliver those goods is extremely high. That actually affects our cash flow and really can make life really hard, especially if you don't have a source of financing partner to help you deliver on such goods. Therefore, we had to figure out what is the best solution out of this. And that's how actually we walked to a branch in Westlands Cooperative Bank, and we talked to the branch manager there then, and we were given different options that you can pick, different products that we can pick from to help us improve our daily cash flow. And the first product I remember we took with Cooperative Bank at that then was working capital loan. That's actually what helped us improve in terms of bring more people on board, as well as increases the office space.
For many MSMEs in Kenya, that gap between money going out and money coming in is the pressure point. This is where supply chain finance changes the game, allowing businesses like Techlink to manage that cycle predictably.
So first things that we did, if I may go back to around 2019, is that we approached our bank, Cooperative Bank. We sat down with them. The good thing about them is that they're able to sit down with you and also advise you on terms of you can discuss the plans you have in terms of your growth plans, and they can advise you on products that can actually support your growth. And we came up with a couple of products that we actually felt that could support us at that time. We felt, for example, the first product, like I had mentioned earlier, was the working capital, and which we took, and that helped us in terms of putting money for cash flow purposes, managing our cash flow, because when all the money that you have is going to suppliers, sometimes you're left without any money to run the business. Then after that, we went to the same business because now you have goods that you need to deliver to our customers, but you do not have the equipment to deliver, or basically the transport method, the mechanism to deliver these goods. So therefore, we went back to the same bank, and we actually took an asset finance loan that allowed us to actually buy motor vehicle to help us move these goods. We also went to the same. As business kept growing, we went back to the same bank, and we talked. They gave us a very interesting product that actually has moved us. That this is what has really changed the business for us, and this is actually supply chain financing, or the trade financing solution, the product. How does it work? It means that my supplier, who needs to be paid upfront for me to supply goods, I have to make sure that I get the funds to give my supplier. And then my customer will come and ask for 60 or 30 days payment terms, or rather credit for 30 or 60 days. However, that is what they ask for. But what they practice basically is that they may delay you even to a period of sometimes up to 60 days, up to 6 months. So what is the solution in that scenario where you have an environment where you have to pay your suppliers upfront, and then you have to wait for payment later? So the supply chain actually comes and solves that problem, because the supply chain allows us to negotiate a repayment plan with the bank, and then then they pay for they don't give you the cash basically, but they pay on your behalf. They pay the supplier on your behalf, and you're left paying it the bank later on within a certain period of time. What that does is that the cash that we have available allows us to manage our obligations without really affecting the supply. So our supply is always on time. Our suppliers are very happy. Our relationship with our customers is high because we are dependable, we are reliable, and therefore there's trust. Then there's as many referrals, as many as possible. We have many referrals. We have what do you call it? We have the suppliers are happy because we don't fail them as far as payment is concerned. And when you talk about these purchases, you're not only talking about the purchases that we do here locally, because majority of our suppliers are local, but we also we purchase some items actually outside the country to make sure that for equipment that we're not able to get here, we have to bring them from outside.
What are some of the countries that you've been importing your equipment from?
We import mostly from Dubai, because our products are put in something called a region, for example, and within our region, which is EMEA region, the goods are actually based in are picked from Dubai. And then also because of the quality of the goods that you're picking from Dubai, they're genuine goods. We do not want to be able to do any counterfeit or anything like that. So we pick them from Dubai. And all we need to do, basically, if you have any order that you need to process and the goods are in Dubai, what you need to do is go to the bank and you get an invoice from the supplier and they pay for you. And the payment comes in different modes, can be in Kenyan shilling or can be in any other currency that you want.
So supply chain financing is a big word. Actually, banks have moved into what we call ecosystem finance. So we don't only look at what the companies are doing at that time. We look and we project their needs for a longer time. So normally most customers who are trading have a financial year. So that is January to December, or depending on when their year will start. So supply chain financing for companies like Techlink means in January up to December, they're going to use some instruments. So they'll use bid bonds to apply for the jobs. They will use what we call performance guarantees, because when they win a job, the person who has given them the job wants to know that they can perform, and they need to secure themselves in case Techlink does not perform. Then once they own the job, they need what we call LPO financing, which is now the funded side of the transaction. So they need money to go and buy goods, procure services, so that then they're able to perform. Then once they have performed, as they're waiting for payment, they need something called invoice discounting, which means that they can come to the bank and say, I've already done my job, I'm waiting for money 30, 60, 90 days, and be able to give them 80% of the cash upfront through invoice discounting. So in a nutshell, supply chain financing for companies like Techlink means their whole ecosystem. So not only trade, we can also look at things like asset finance, because like for contractors, you need transportation to site and from site. So you're looking at pickups, you're looking at lorries, and also sometimes you'll be using some machinery once you get to the site. So supply chain finance gives them all these additions. And actually, the bank now has moved into something called credit lines. So you find that industries like contracting and supplying, where Techlink plays, the customers require so many instruments, and customers are constrained about 3 areas. Number one is the timing. The nature of a contractor is that they always get jobs and they're rushing. So they'll come to the bank and say, I've won a job today and I need money tomorrow. Also, the issue with security. If you're going to give the bank land as security, it takes almost 1 or 2 months for us to charge that property so that we can give you that money. And then lastly is also the convenience of getting a bank. So what we have done as Cooperative Bank, we have given something called the trade credit line, or the credit line. So in this case, customers like Techlink, we anticipate all their needs 360 days. So we can give them one line, one application with one security. So with that, they're able to get all these instruments within one application and able to access that same facility for the next 12 months. So CoBank has gone forward to preempt the customer needs and to give the required solutions.
What does the future look like for you? If in these 10 years, you've seen this much growth,
Yes.
what does the future look like for you 5-10 years from now?
So our plan right now, as a company, our focus has been on other business to business. We also want to introduce an environment where we are also dealing with walk-ins, basically walk-ins. So we want to move into also do B2C, business to consumers. So that is one area of expansion that we're looking at. The other one that we're looking at is having multiple branches around the country, and if possible, move to the region to be able to open other the companies in other countries, maybe around the region, to make sure that our reach is felt far and beyond Westlands. Yes.
For any MSME watching who feels that supply chain financing is only for larger corporations,
Yes.
what would you say to them?
Supply chain is, as long as you have the patience to be able to grow as time demands, rather. So supply chain, for me, when I started supply chain, we started with a small amount, very small, quite a minimum amount. But over time, that limit of the supply chain has grown. Each year, it has grown each year. Therefore, it means that it's for everybody, actually. It's not only for large organizations. It's for everybody, as long as you have the dream to be able to actually actualize a company or run a certain project. It's for everybody. Anybody can actually work with supply chain, and it's very reliable.
What should an MSME consider before seeking this kind of structured support?
Actually, lending is quite simple, because then there are a few things the bank needs. The bank just needs to know you are doing good business, you have a purpose in terms of what you want to deliver, and then number 3, how are you going to get paid? And there are very simple things that we normally look at. So Techlink is a contractor, or today you are a contractor. Number 1, who has given you the job? What entities are you dealing with? Are they, in this market we may not say good payers, but are they dependable payers? Are they people who can pay you at the end of the job? Then number 2, what kind of work are you doing? Of course, it shouldn't be something like illegal or something outside of your breadth of understanding. So let me give you for an example. If a person who has been selling wholesale or retail goods has now a job to do a large building construction, that's different from their normal line of work. So we like to retain that kind of understanding that the customer is in their level of capability, or is doing something that is related to their capability. Number 3, financial capacity. So customers normally don't have the big jumps. So you're doing a project of 10 million, next month you want to do one for 1 billion. So it will be a gradual growth in terms of the tenders and also the capacities that you are requesting for the bank. So anytime a customer comes to CoBank for facilitation, we just need to have the normal KYC. The bank needs to know you. If you don't have the account, we open for you the account same day. Number 2, we need to know the kind of job that you are doing and what kind of tender or what kind of facilitation do you need. Once that is provided, we now do an application. Basically, we just need statements. For larger tenders, we may need book of accounts. And then number 3, also the pro forma invoices, because mostly contractors need to pay for something. Then number 5, after we get the approval, we're able to give you the offer letter, you execute, and you're able to draw down the facility. So it's not a very large request. The only thing is that walk to any of our branches, ask them about the solutions that we offer, especially for contractors and suppliers, and we're able to facilitate you. Normally, right now, we have a turnaround of around 2 weeks for credit applications. So you come today, you open an account, we have all the documents. Within 2 weeks, you're able to get a decision on whether we can lend you, or maybe what else do you need for us to give you the facility that you require.
Behind every system that Techlink Limited designs and installs, there's a supply chain that worked. Suppliers were paid on time. Equipment arrived when it was supposed to. That kind of reliability doesn't happen by chance. It takes the right financial support. My name is Michelle Ngele Odhiambo. This is Marketplace, driving trade one business at a time. To grow your business today, visit any cooperative bank branch and ask to speak to a business banker.